Throughout history, humanity has struggled to uncover the truth behind lost civilizations and unexplained events. Among these mysteries, the legend of Atlantis stands as one of the most captivating and enduring enigmas. The lost continent of Atlantis has fueled the imagination of historians, scientists, writers, and explorers for centuries, inspiring countless books, films, and expeditions. But was Atlantis ever real, or is it simply a myth woven into history? The story of Atlantis comes from the works of the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, who wrote about it around 360 BCE in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias. According to Plato, Atlantis was a vast, wealthy, and technologically advanced civilization located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which many interpret as the Strait of Gibraltar. The Atlanteans were said to be a powerful naval force with grand cities, sophisticated architecture, and immense resources. However, as time passed, they became corrupt, greedy, and arrogant, leading to their downfall. The gods, angered by their moral decay, unleashed a cataclysmic disaster that swallowed the entire continent in a single day and night, leaving no trace behind. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Atlantis legend is whether Plato was recounting a historical event or simply crafting an allegory about the dangers of hubris and the inevitable downfall of great empires. Some scholars believe that Atlantis never existed and that Plato used the story as a philosophical lesson. Others argue that he may have based it on real historical events that were later exaggerated and mythologized. If Atlantis was real, where could it have been? Over the centuries, numerous theories have emerged, each placing Atlantis in a different location. One of the most widely accepted theories suggests that Atlantis was actually the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete and the nearby Santorini, Thera. The Minoans were an advanced society with remarkable engineering, art, and naval capabilities. However, around 1600 BCE, a massive volcanic eruption on Santorini triggered earthquakes and tsunamis that devastated the region. Some researchers believe that the sudden destruction of the Minoans could have inspired Plato's tale of Atlantis. Another theory suggests that Atlantis was located in the Atlantic Ocean. Since Plato described Atlantis as lying beyond the Pillars of Hercules, many believe that it must have been an island or continent in the Atlantic that was submerged after a natural disaster. Some proponents of this theory speculate that Atlantis could be what is now the Azores, a group of islands that might be the remnants of a once larger landmass. However, no conclusive evidence has been found beneath the ocean's surface to confirm this idea. Some researchers argue that Atlantis might have been in the Caribbean, particularly near Cuba and the Bahamas. Sonar scans of the ocean floor in this region have revealed what appear to be large stone structures, possibly ancient ruins. However, it remains unclear whether these formations are natural or man-made, leaving the possibility of Atlantis in this region open to debate. An even more radical theory suggests that Atlantis could have been in Antarctica. Some scientists believe that Antarctica was not always covered in ice and might have once had a temperate climate suitable for human habitation. If a highly advanced civilization existed there and was later buried under miles of ice due to a sudden climate shift, it would explain why no traces of Atlantis have ever been found. This theory is speculative, but it raises interesting questions about Earth's geological past and lost civilizations. Despite centuries of exploration, Atlantis remains elusive. Modern technology, including satellite imaging and underwater mapping, has allowed researchers to explore previously inaccessible areas of the ocean, but no definitive proof of Atlantis has surfaced. While many believe that the lost city is merely a legend, others remain convinced that new discoveries could one day rewrite history. The mystery of Atlantis continues to capture the imagination of people around the world. Perhaps Plato's tale was nothing more than a cautionary story about human ambition and the consequences of unchecked power. Or maybe, buried beneath the waves or hidden under layers of ice, the ruins of a lost civilization await rediscovery. Until the day Atlantis is found, or definitively proven to be a myth, the legend will continue to spark curiosity, fuel exploration, and inspire countless theories about what might have been. Among the most awe-inspiring and mysterious structures ever built, the Egyptian pyramids hold a special place in human history. For centuries, these colossal monuments have fascinated people, sparking countless theories about their construction. Some believe the ancient Egyptians built them through sheer determination and ingenuity, while others suggest that an unknown technology or even extraterrestrial beings may have played a role. The question remains, who really built the pyramids, and how did they do it? the pyramids were built as tombs for Egypt's most powerful rulers, the pharaohs. The ancient Egyptians believed that after death, the pharaohs would unite with the gods, ensuring their eternal life. To preserve their bodies and secure their passage to the afterlife, these massive structures were constructed. The most famous pyramids stand on the Giza Plateau: the Great Pyramid of Khufu, Cheops, the Pyramid of Khafre, and the Pyramid of Menkaure. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, towering at 481 feet, remains one of the greatest engineering marvels of all time. Even today, experts debate how the Egyptians managed to build such a massive structure with such precision. According to traditional historical accounts, the pyramids were built by thousands of Egyptian laborers and slaves over several decades. Moving millions of limestone blocks, each weighing several tons, required an extraordinary level of organization and manpower. However, recent archaeological discoveries suggest that these workers were not slaves but highly skilled laborers who were well-fed, paid, and even honored for their efforts. Excavations of worker villages near the pyramids have revealed living quarters, food supplies, and burial sites, indicating that these individuals were valued members of society rather than forced laborers. Yet, many questions about the construction process remain unanswered. How were the massive stone blocks cut with such precision? How were they transported across long distances and lifted into place with remarkable accuracy? Even today, moving and assembling such heavy materials with the same level of precision would be an incredible engineering feat. The most widely accepted theory suggests that the Egyptians used large ramps to transport the blocks up the pyramid. However, building and maintaining such ramps would have required an enormous amount of additional labor and resources, making this theory somewhat controversial. One of the most intriguing theories is that the ancient Egyptians possessed a lost technology that allowed them to move and shape stone in ways unknown to modern science. Some researchers believe they may have used chemical treatments to soften stone, making it easier to mold and transport before it hardened again. While no definitive evidence supports this idea, it raises the possibility that the Egyptians had advanced techniques that were lost over time. More speculative theories suggest that the pyramids were built with the help of extraterrestrial beings. Supporters of this theory argue that the level of precision in the pyramid's construction, along with the alignment of the structures with celestial bodies, suggests knowledge beyond what was available at the time. They also point to the fact that similar pyramid-like structures exist in various cultures around the world, hinting at a possible connection between these ancient civilizations. However, mainstream archaeology dismisses these claims, emphasizing that all evidence points to the pyramids being a result of human ingenuity, intelligence, and persistence. Beyond their construction, the pyramids also serve as evidence of the Egyptians' advanced knowledge of astronomy and mathematics. The Great Pyramid of Khufu is almost perfectly aligned with the Earth's cardinal directions, an achievement that suggests careful planning and an understanding of planetary movement. This remarkable precision indicates that the ancient Egyptians were far more advanced in their engineering and scientific knowledge than previously thought. Today, the pyramids continue to stand as timeless symbols of ancient Egypt's grandeur. Modern technology, including laser scanning and thermal imaging, has been used to study these structures, revealing potential hidden chambers that have yet to be explored. These undiscovered rooms could provide new insights into how the pyramids were built and their true purpose. However, for now, many mysteries remain unsolved. The pyramids are not just enormous tombs, they represent a civilization's ability to dream big and achieve the impossible. Whether through lost technology, extraordinary human effort, or a combination of both, the construction of the pyramids remains one of history's greatest achievements. Perhaps the secret of their construction lies buried within the sands of Egypt, waiting to be uncovered. Until then, the pyramids will continue to inspire wonder, curiosity, and endless speculation about the true nature of their creation. Throughout history, many great civilizations have risen to power, only to mysteriously disappear. Some of these lost societies were highly advanced, possessing remarkable engineering knowledge, complex societal structures, and rich cultural traditions. Yet, despite their advancements, they suddenly vanished, leaving behind ruins and unanswered questions. The reasons behind their downfall remain one of history's greatest mysteries. One of the most intriguing lost civilizations is the Maya civilization. Thriving in the dense rainforests of Central America, the Maya reached their peak between AD 250 and 900. They developed an advanced writing system, made astonishing astronomical calculations, and built massive stone cities across present-day Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and Honduras. The Mayans were master builders, constructing towering pyramids, sophisticated road networks, and vast ceremonial centers. Yet, despite their great achievements, their civilization mysteriously collapsed. The once thriving cities were abandoned, their temples left to crumble, and the forests reclaimed their land. But why? Scholars have proposed multiple theories regarding the Maya civilization's downfall. Some believe overpopulation and excessive resource consumption strained the environment, leading to food shortages and societal decline. Deforestation and overuse of farmland may have led to soil degradation, making it difficult to sustain the population. Additionally, prolonged droughts may have caused widespread famine and forced people to abandon their cities in search of more hospitable areas. Internal conflicts and political instability may have further weakened the civilization, accelerating its collapse. However, none of these theories fully explain why the Maya abandoned their magnificent cities so suddenly, leaving their fate shrouded in mystery. Another enigmatic lost civilization is Mohenjo-Daro, one of the largest cities of the Indus Valley Civilization, located in present-day Pakistan. Dating back over 4,000 years, Mohenjo-Daro was an architectural marvel with wide streets, advanced drainage systems, and carefully planned neighborhoods. Its sophisticated urban planning suggests that its inhabitants had a deep understanding of engineering and organization. Yet, at some point, the city was completely abandoned, and its people vanished without a trace. One of the most controversial theories surrounding Mohenjo-Daro's disappearance involves the discovery of unusually high radiation levels in skeletal remains found at the site. Some researchers speculate that an ancient nuclear explosion or unknown catastrophic event wiped out the city. However, there is no solid evidence to support this claim. More conventional theories suggest that climate change, shifting river patterns, or devastating wars may have forced the city's residents to flee. Despite extensive research, the true reason for Mohenjo-Daro's abandonment remains unknown. Another lost civilization that continues to baffle historians is Göbekli Tepe, located in modern-day Turkey. Dating back more than 12,000 years, Göbekli Tepe is the oldest known temple complex in the world, predating even the Egyptian pyramids. The site features massive stone pillars intricately carved with animals and symbols, suggesting that it was a significant religious center. However, for reasons still unclear, Göbekli Tepe was deliberately buried by its builders and left behind. Why would an advanced civilization go through the trouble of constructing such a monumental site, only to bury it and abandon it? The answer to this question remains one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. Another fascinating case is the Nazca civilization, known for creating the famous Nazca lines in Peru. These enormous geoglyphs, depicting animals, humans, and geometric patterns, were carved into the desert floor over 1,500 years ago. The most puzzling aspect of these figures is that they can only be fully seen from the air. How did the Nazca people create such precise and large-scale images without modern technology? Some researchers believe they used simple tools and mathematical calculations, while others suggest a more mysterious purpose, perhaps for communication with the gods or celestial navigation. Despite these achievements, the Nazca civilization mysteriously declined, possibly due to severe droughts that made survival in the arid region impossible. However, their sudden disappearance and the true purpose behind the Nazca lines remain unsolved mysteries. The common theme among these lost civilizations is that they were all advanced in their time, yet something caused their rapid decline and disappearance. Modern archaeologists continue to use cutting-edge technology, such as satellite imaging, ground-penetrating radar, and climate analysis, to uncover new clues about these ancient societies. Each new discovery brings us closer to understanding their fate, but for now, many questions remain unanswered. Perhaps the downfall of these civilizations serves as a warning for modern societies. Environmental destruction, political conflict, and overuse of resources have led to the collapse of great civilizations before, and history has a way of repeating itself. The story of these lost societies is not just a glimpse into the past but also a lesson for the future. However, until more evidence is uncovered, the fate of these ancient civilizations will remain one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of human history. In the arid deserts of Peru, enormous figures stretch across the landscape, visible only from above. Known as the Nazca lines, these massive geoglyphs were created by the ancient Nazca civilization over 1,500 years ago. Their purpose and construction remain one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Who made them, and why? Were they simply works of art, or did they carry a deeper meaning? The Nazca lines are remarkable not just for their size but for their precision. Covering hundreds of square miles, the designs include animals such as birds, monkeys, and spiders, as well as geometric shapes and humanoid figures. Some of the largest figures are up to 1,000 feet long, yet they can only be fully appreciated from the sky. This raises a fundamental question: how did the Nazca people, without modern aerial technology, create such massive, intricate designs with such accuracy? Researchers have studied the lines for decades, attempting to understand how they were made. The figures were created by carefully removing the dark, weathered stones from the desert surface to reveal the lighter soil underneath. Because the Nazca Desert has an extremely dry climate, the designs have remained largely untouched for centuries. However, while we understand how they were physically created, their exact purpose is still debated. One of the most widely accepted theories is that the Nazca lines had religious or ritualistic significance. Some of the lines align with underground water sources, leading scholars to believe that they may have been connected to water rituals. Given that the Nazca region is one of the driest places on Earth, water would have been an invaluable resource. Some researchers suggest that the lines were ceremonial paths, where priests or pilgrims walked as part of rituals meant to invoke rainfall from the gods. Another popular theory suggests that the Nazca lines were linked to astronomy. Some lines seem to align with the positions of the sun, moon, and certain stars during key times of the year, such as solstices and equinoxes. This has led some experts to believe the lines functioned as a sort of ancient calendar, helping the Nazca people determine the best times for planting and harvesting crops, as well as scheduling important religious ceremonies. One of the most controversial and widely debated theories is that the Nazca lines are connected to extraterrestrial beings. This idea gained popularity after Swiss author Erich von Däniken proposed that the lines were used as landing strips for alien spacecraft. The argument suggests that the Nazca people either received help from an advanced extraterrestrial civilization or created these designs as signals to beings in the sky. Supporters of this theory point to the vast scale of the drawings and their visibility only from above as evidence that they were meant to be seen by something, or someone, flying in the sky. However, mainstream scientists have largely dismissed this idea, providing evidence that the Nazca civilization was fully capable of designing and executing these massive artworks on their own. Despite extensive research, no single theory has been able to definitively explain the purpose of the Nazca lines. New discoveries continue to emerge as researchers use advanced technology such as satellite imaging and LiDAR scanning to uncover even more geoglyphs in the surrounding areas. Some of these recently discovered designs suggest that the Nazca civilization was even more complex than previously believed, and their culture may have had deeper spiritual and scientific knowledge than we realize. The Nazca lines remain one of the most fascinating enigmas of the ancient world. They are a testament to human ingenuity, perseverance, and creativity, standing the test of time against the harsh desert environment. Whether they were intended as religious symbols, astronomical markers, or something else entirely, they continue to captivate the world. Perhaps one day, we will uncover their true meaning. Until then, they remain an open question, one that challenges our understanding of the past and reminds us that some mysteries may never be fully solved. In the late 16th century, a group of English settlers arrived on the coast of what is now North Carolina, hoping to establish England's first permanent colony in the New World. However, when a supply ship returned to the colony 3 years later, the entire settlement had vanished without a trace. Over 100 men, women, and children had disappeared, leaving behind only a single cryptic clue, a word carved into a tree, Croton. What happened to the lost colony of Roanoke? Did they assimilate with local Native American tribes, fall victim to an attack, or succumb to starvation and disease? The fate of the Roanoke settlers remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. The Roanoke colony was established in 1587 under the leadership of John White, an English artist and explorer. White and a group of 115 settlers, including his daughter and newborn granddaughter, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the Americas, landed on Roanoke Island, part of what is now the Outer Banks of North Carolina. The colonists faced immediate hardships, struggling with limited food supplies, an unfamiliar environment, and tense relations with the indigenous tribes. A few months after their arrival, White made the difficult decision to return to England to gather supplies, leaving the settlers behind. However, England was on the brink of war with Spain, and White's return was delayed. When he finally managed to return to Roanoke in 1590, he was met with a chilling sight. The colony was completely deserted, there were no signs of struggle, no bodies, no evidence of what had happened. The only clue was the word Croton carved into a wooden post and the letters CRO etched into a tree. There was no distress signal or cross marking, which White had instructed the colonists to leave behind if they were forced to leave under duress. This suggested that they may have left voluntarily, but to where. One of the most widely accepted theories is that the colonists assimilated with the Croatan tribe, a Native American group that lived on nearby Hatteras Island. Some historians believe that the settlers, struggling with starvation and isolation, sought refuge with the indigenous people and gradually became part of their society. There have been reports of later European settlers encountering Native Americans with light-colored eyes and English-sounding words in their vocabulary, fueling speculation that the Roanoke colonists had been absorbed into the tribe. However, no concrete evidence has ever been found to prove this theory beyond doubt. Another possibility is that the colonists tried to relocate to a different area and perished in the process. Some theories suggest they attempted to sail north to the Chesapeake Bay, where they had originally planned to settle, but were lost at sea. Others propose that they moved inland, but succumbed to starvation, disease, or attacks by hostile tribes. Without clear evidence, the exact path they took remains unknown. There are also more sinister theories. Some historians believe that the Roanoke settlers were wiped out by an attack, either from a rival Native American tribe or even the Spanish, who were also competing for control of the New World. However, no remains, weapons, or signs of a violent struggle have ever been found, making this theory difficult to confirm. One of the more eerie and speculative theories is that the colony was the victim of a supernatural event. Some legends suggest that the settlers fell victim to curses, mystical forces, or even unexplained phenomena tied to the land. While these ideas are purely speculative, the mystery surrounding Roanoke has led to countless supernatural interpretations in books, movies, and folklore. Despite centuries of exploration and modern scientific advancements, no definitive answer has been found regarding what happened to the Roanoke settlers. In recent years, archaeologists have discovered artifacts on Hatteras Island and near the Albemarle Sound that suggest some settlers may have lived among Native American groups. However, no conclusive proof has emerged to explain the fate of all 115 colonists. The disappearance of the Roanoke colony remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. It is a haunting reminder of how the past can remain shrouded in uncertainty, even in an age of scientific breakthroughs and technological advancements. Perhaps one day, new discoveries will shed light on the fate of the lost colonists. Until then, Roanoke will continue to captivate historians, archaeologists, and mystery lovers alike, standing as one of history's most perplexing disappearances. Throughout history, humanity has continually advanced in science and technology, but there are ancient discoveries that defy conventional explanations. From mysterious artifacts to complex structures that modern engineering still struggles to replicate, some believe that early civilizations possessed knowledge that has been lost to time. Could it be that our ancestors had access to advanced technology far beyond what we assume they were capable of? Or are these discoveries simply misunderstood relics of the past? One of the most famous examples of an unexplained ancient technology is the Antikythera mechanism. Discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of Greece in 1901, this complex device consists of bronze gears and dials that resemble a modern-day analog computer. Scientists have determined that it was used to track celestial movements, predict eclipses, and possibly determine the timing of the Olympic Games. What makes the Antikythera mechanism so extraordinary is that it dates back to around 200 BCE, yet the level of precision and mechanical sophistication suggests that it was far ahead of its time. Some experts believe that similar technology may have existed elsewhere in the ancient world, but no other comparable artifacts have ever been found. Another baffling example of ancient technology is the pyramids of Egypt. While many theories exist about how they were built, the precision of their construction continues to raise questions. The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions, and the mathematical accuracy of its design suggests an advanced understanding of geometry and engineering. Some researchers propose that the ancient Egyptians had knowledge of construction techniques that have been lost to time, allowing them to move and place multi-ton stone blocks with extreme precision. Others even speculate that they might have had access to levitation or energy-based technologies that helped them build these massive structures with greater ease than previously thought. Similarly, the stone spheres of Costa Rica remain an enigma. Scattered across the jungles of Costa Rica, these massive, perfectly round stone spheres were carved by an unknown civilization over 1,000 years ago. Ranging in size from a few inches to over 6 feet in diameter, the spheres appear to have been deliberately placed, but their purpose remains unclear. Some believe they were used for astronomical or navigational purposes, while others suggest they held symbolic or religious significance. The level of craftsmanship required to create these spheres is astonishing, as even today, replicating such perfect roundness with basic tools would be an enormous challenge. Another extraordinary example is the Baghdad Battery, a clay jar containing an iron rod and a copper cylinder, discovered in Iraq and dating back over 2,000 years. Some researchers believe this device could have functioned as an early form of a battery, capable of generating a small electric charge. If true, it suggests that ancient civilizations had a deeper understanding of electricity than previously thought. However, skeptics argue that the jar was likely used for something more mundane, such as storing scrolls or creating chemical reactions for metal plating. Regardless, its existence fuels speculation that ancient societies may have experimented with electrical energy in ways that have yet to be fully understood. The Vimanas of ancient India also stand out as one of history's most controversial claims of lost technology. Described in ancient Sanskrit texts, Vimanas were flying chariots or spacecraft allegedly used by gods and rulers. Some translations of these texts describe advanced propulsion systems and aerial battles, leading some researchers to suggest that these stories may be based on real technological advancements that existed in the distant past. While mainstream historians dismiss these accounts as mythology, others argue that ancient civilizations may have possessed a deeper understanding of aerodynamics and flight than we currently acknowledge. The debate over ancient advanced technology is fueled by the precision of ancient stone-cutting techniques. Across the world, from the ancient sites of Peru's Sacsayhuaman to the perfectly interlocking stones of Puma Punku in Bolivia, there are numerous examples of stonework that seem almost impossible to achieve with primitive tools. The precision with which these stones were cut, shaped, and fitted together, without the use of mortar, suggests that ancient builders had access to techniques or tools that modern scientists and engineers still struggle to explain. Were these ancient technologies merely products of ingenuity and skill, or do they point to lost knowledge that has been forgotten over time? Some theorists even suggest that there may have been an advanced prehistoric civilization, wiped out by a cataclysmic event, whose knowledge was lost to history. Others propose that ancient peoples were simply far more intelligent and resourceful than we often assume, capable of achieving incredible feats without the need for mysterious or lost technology. Regardless of the explanations, these ancient discoveries challenge our understanding of history. They suggest that the technological capabilities of early civilizations may have been far greater than previously believed. Perhaps, as more evidence is uncovered, we will one day unlock the secrets of the past and rediscover lost techniques that could revolutionize our understanding of human advancement. Until then, the question remains: how much do we really know about the capabilities of our ancestors?